Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Two Falls. We are going to be looking around the trading post that we've just arrived at. That'll be interesting. Had a bit of so L'Allemand Brébeuf trading post, 10 days after Jeanne's arrival. We'll pick it up from where she starts in the dormitory.
Father de Lyon's trading post was little more than ramshackle lumber and a few angry brutes. But I had safety here, a routine, a home. And best of all, I had a purpose.
This is pretty much where I left it last time. I was just about to say. I think I wandered into there and didn't see anything. We're going to have a wander around here, though, and see if there's anything to have a look at. I also got a bit of feedback on the previous episodes to say that people were enjoying me sort of reading out the codex entries right at the end, so I'm going to try and do that at the end of this episode, sort of catch up on all the ones I haven't sort of read out aloud yet. Ooh, guns.
They have enough guns to start a war.
Or finish one. That'd be such an action movie line, wouldn't it? Okay. Ooh, what's this? Huh?
Nothing like the smell of fresh baked loaves to make a place feel like home.
Yeah, but why are they just in a box in the middle of the room? Oh, okay. Right, I mean, we'll do, like I said, well, I'll try to do the codex entries at the end of the episode, just to sort of keep the flow of gameplay moving along apace. Anything in here? There is something.
So many furs. I know it's their job, but how many animals died for this?
Yes. Okay, we've got dude chilling there. We got Capitan over there by that.
Morning, Jeanne.
Laurent?
You free to play dice? I want payback for last night.
Play dice with Florent? Yeah, why not?
Sorry, Florent, not now. Father Augustin has work for me.
I was up for it.
Of course he does. Well, best not keep him waiting. He should still be at the chapel.
Got it. Thanks.
Alright, yeah, so we're going to explore and then we'll move up there. So that's the bunkhouse. We'll say hello to Capitan. Not sure if I'll be able to get in this room. It looks like a storeroom or something like that.
No wonder Christophe almost lost a leg stepping on one of these.
Capitan! Oh, he's a good boy. Now I imagine, yeah, have a little pier in there. Doesn't seem like there's very much apart from boxes and stuff. Alright, what's going on down here? Like a tavern or something, potentially? This could be like a general store. Le Fleur de Lis.
Golden lilies on royal blue. Nouvelle France's flag looks like the king's coat of arms.
This dude. Yeah? You gonna say anything to us?
Keep walking, girl. I don't want to deal with your crap while I'm on break.
Well, bear. I feel like we're gonna come to blows at some point. Alright. What else we got? Ooh.
What awful handwriting. Must be Albert's.
But what does it say, Jeanne? I see. It's probably in French. I have no idea. I don't even know what language that's in. I couldn't tell if it was English or French.
Must be hard to make wood bend like that without breaking.
Toboggans, yeah. Again, we'll read this stuff at the end. I will remember to do so this time. Back here, we spy on someone. Oh, it's Tejon.
Tejon? Is everything all right?
Looks sad.
Oh, endure, Jeanne. Just tired of negotiations going nowhere. Early winters make business complicated. But we'll handle it. We always do.
Okay. Good luck.
Don't know the guy on the left. I think the guy on the right is the one who was leching over us when we met up. Ooh. Game.
Poor things. I feel bad having to cook them.
What are these dudes up to? Having a staring contest by the look of it. To interrupt your staring contest, gentlemen. Now entering its third day, the staring contest. Something up here.
Wow. Never realized these were made from tree bark. It's a miracle they don't get ripped apart by river rapids.
Interesting. I'll read that later. I don't know if they're treated in some way. I would imagine they would have to be. Any value of trade goods? Okay, I can read that.
One
so.
beaver skin for 2 axes. 6 beaver skins for a musket? Never realized how much furs were worth. That haul must be worth a fortune.
What do I feel like we're going to end up like setting on fire or something? It's not. I mean, it's not. I don't feel like it's going to end well here.
I think I know someone who might like this.
Capitan, it's a bone.
Is Tehan sure these are edible? Doesn't look like any fruit I've ever seen.
It's a plumpkin. All right, let's go and give a bone to our best boy. Hey, boy. Good news.
Bon
Aw.
appetit, boy.
Nom 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 nom. I don't think you're actually supposed to give bones to dogs anyway, or at least certain bones. They splinter. Not good for them. At least for my little dog, my little dachshund, and chicken bones I think in particular are a no-no. I don't know if like moose bones or whatever that was are different in that regard. Ooh, let's go up. Eating apples, apparently.
Just you wait, you fucking Iroquois. You ain't ready for me.
Hey, Bernard.
Bernard, what are you doing up here?
Keeping watch. Iroquois warbands have been attacking settlements a lot lately. But they won't get the drop on us again. The second I even think I see one, BAM!
Why are they raiding us in the first place? Is there something they want?
Far as I can tell, they just get a kick out of killing us. So I gotta keep ready. Just in case.
Alright, let's get back down. Church is the last place we go before advancing story, so let's just have a little nose around the other areas first. Oh, got a graveyard.
Oh, God. Were they all killed in those Iroquois raids? God, if you can hear me, I hope their spirits are at peace. Just like the women aboard my ship.
Probably can't go in here. I'll have a little peer in the window, though.
Father Augustin's cabin. Bet it's way nicer to sleep there than the dorms.
And that goes back To the dorms, doesn't it? So, okay, so let's go talk to Agustin.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and pardon us our sins. Amen. Ah, good morning, Jeanne. Peace be with you on this fine day.
Thank you, Father. Albert said you needed me?
Indeed, and for an important task, no less. I presume you're aware of our guest's precarious circumstances?
I am. Tehan said the weather has been abnormally harsh. There's almost nothing left to hunt or forage, and their people's crops have suffered too. Some want to leave before the first snow, but it might be worse back home.
Dreadful, isn't it? Well, fret not, my dear. The Wendat shan't be forsaken. My associates and I will host a banquet soon, in honor of Toussaint.
We have enough food left for that?
Of course. I've been planning this celebration for quite some time, you know. We shall have fruit and bread, wine and venison, even mushroom stew. But to indulge in merriment when our allies suffer? That would be vile. Thus, I was hoping you'd extend Tehan an offer of conciliation. Invite him and the Wendat to stay a little longer, so they too may partake.
That's a wonderful idea, Father. But,
What is he up to? I feel like there's a reason that he's making them stay, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm just deeply sus.
Toussaint is a Christian celebration. Should we really be imposing our faith during their time of need?
Are you implying my intentions to be impure,
Yeah.
Miss Angelier?
Entirely.
No, no. Of course not.
Then I'll thank you not to confuse charitable acts for subterfuge, as Tehan would. What this feast stands for is trivial compared to the weary souls it may save, you see.
You're right, Father. I'm sorry for speaking out of turn.
It's quite all right, child. Concern is not sin. Just be sure to extend our invitation sooner than later.
I'll have a look around the church, as we didn't really get a chance to do that cutscene-ish thing triggered. Let's have a little look at the pulpit. What to say, really? Isn't it Jeanne's quite small? I feel like maybe... Are her feet sinking below the ground or something? Or is the... I think the priest may just be very tall. Okay. I mean, I'm done exploring, so I guess we'll proceed with that now. I guess Albert's gonna have words for us, is he, before we head out?
Hey, where do you think you're going? You're supposed to be sweeping the goddamn dorms, so get to work!
Look, Albert. I'm busy right now, okay? This can wait.
No, it fucking can't. You slack off, waste food, and your stinking mutt's a pain in my ass. So give me one goddamn reason I oughta...
Get him, Capitan.
You know, your boss really won't be happy if he hears you made me late.
Only a little manipulative. I feel like we've chosen a lot of the manipulative options.
Those floors better be spotless tomorrow.
Good boy.
Thanks, boy.
Okay, where are we going? Maikan? Oh no, she's just outside the trading post. Okay, so where's Tahon gonna be? He's over there. Is there any point to kind of exploring a bit more widely? I don't know, really. I think we'll just go and chat to Tahon. I feel like he's going to be quite upset. Why don't you guys come and stay inside the trade post?
¿Dónde ho, Jeanne?
Oh, Dio?
Eshi yarasquai? Costora. Young winds. Yothoye. Atuentaye. Oh, Jeanne! Oh, Onyatenoro. What brings you here?
I was supposed to deliver a message, but... Tahon, since when have things been like this?
Longer than I care to admit. We're managing now, but it is becoming colder. Unless trades or hunts improve soon, things will get worse before they get better.
I'm so sorry. If I'd known it was this bad, I would...
Come, we should talk elsewhere. Give him a chance to rest. Now, what's all this about a message?
Well, it's good news, actually. Father de Lyon wants to invite you and the others to a feast.
A feast? For what occasion?
Be honest.
It's to, celebrate the life and death of all God's saints. I know it sounds bad, but he just wants them to stay a few more days and...
Absolutely not. This is another Jesuit scheme, and I want nothing to do with it.
It's not like that. He only wants to help.
I'd like to believe that. But accepting this offer will make their safety depend on him. And that's too big a risk for me to take.
Look, Tahon. I can't force you to trust him, but...
I mean, I don't think we should swear to be able to protect them, because I don't know if we could make good on that, so...
Turning him down is only going to make things worse. Wendat could die if things don't change soon. And I don't want that to happen. So please, stop clinging to anger or pride. Let us help before it's too late.
You're right. We won't make peace with the past by letting fear dictate our choices. I'll tell Augustin we accept.
Glad to hear that. Do you, want me to come with you? Just in case?
If you want. Though you've already done more for us than I could ask. Besides, you may have your hands full already.
Aww. Hey, boy. I'm gonna play with the dog.
I'll catch up later.
Of course. Have fun.
Hey, boy. Give me the chance to play with the dog. Of course I'm gonna play with the dog.
All right, boy. Ready? Go get it! That's how I like to remember those days. As a peaceful river by the woods, where I could pretend things would be all right.
Aww. Yeah, that's a little ominous though, isn't it? We're going to Maikan now? Don't know if it's a new chapter.
Watch your head.
No.
Thanks. I don't understand.
Budding bromance here.
The weather's getting colder. But Pierre learned his lesson. The winter spirit shouldn't resent him anymore. Unless...
Everything all right? You're muttering again.
Sorry, I just... I keep worrying we're already too late.
Yeah, well, don't go losing hope yet. Come on, gotta keep pace if we want to catch up.
So I wonder if we're sort of... the timeline is the same as Jeanne's now?
By the
It
way,
was moving around a
what's
little bit before.
Poste de traite like, exactly?
You don't know? Thought there was one by Totiskak.
Oh, there is.
Is that a
but
trade post?
I hated the fact it even existed. Our traders came back from there drunk, or dying from diseases we couldn't cure. So I'm not exactly thrilled about visiting a place just like it.
Christ. That explains a few things.
I'm quite looking forward to when they all these sort of main characters meet up. It's got to happen at some point, right?
Well, anyway, a poste de traite is, like a fortified meeting place for traders, basically. Natives bring furs, Frenchmen pay with goods, and both sides go home richer.
Something tells me the French go home richest.
That's sometimes the case. Watch your step! Ice here's slick as shit.
Go on this one.
So, what makes this poste de traite special?
Well, apparently, a missionary runs it.
Missionary? Like those men in black robes?
That's what I heard. They say he don't care much about making money either. Maybe the guy's just a saint looking to help folks in need, but still, it's pretty odd.
I might be just assuming the worst of
And
Augustine,
you're
but
sure
I guess we'll
Jeanne
see.
will be there?
It's just a vibe
Nope,
he gives off.
but her trail's gone
Not
cold.
quite trustworthy.
We don't exactly have other leads. My guess is she struck a deal to get shelter for the winter. Or she stocked up on supplies before heading for Quebec.
I just hope she hasn't sold the fur.
Christ, I'm sick of walking uphill. Oh, fuck this. I'm done. Let's call it a day. What's on your mind?
I'm not looking forward to being surrounded by white men again.
Ah, you'll be fine. We've been speaking more French than Innu lately, haven't we?
Yeah, thanks.
I should be thanking my oh-so-humble teacher for that.
Ah, best way to repay me is with a bottle of good booze. Hell, there's an idea. We should share a drink once we get there. You know, celebrate getting this far together.
A drink? Like firewater? I appreciate the thought, although I don't think I'd be comfortable doing that.
Oh, right. Guess you wouldn't be. Well, I'll think of something else. Still gotta celebrate somehow.
I'll go get firewood. Every now and then, Pierre did things that made my belief in him waver. He always called them mistakes. Good intentions gone wrong. But those mistakes happen so often. I couldn't help but wonder, maybe I was the problem. Maybe I spent so much time trying to make him understand me. I never took time to find out who he really was.
Feels like Maikan's on a journey to become more accepting of outsiders, which is a good thing, I think. I'm gonna build some bridges. It's interesting that you can become very hostile, though. I wonder how that affects the story if that happens. So we're back in Toussaint. The celebration. Yeah, with celebration underway. Alright, I suppose we chop this wood then.
You're better with an axe than I thought. Sure you don't want a break?
I'm fine. Keep them coming.
You're the boss.
Florence seems nice.
Good. Again. Gonna have enough wood for that Toussaint bonfire in no time.
Hey!
Morning, Tehan.
Where is he?
Huh?
Augustin. Where?
He's at the chapel, but...
Christ. Never seen him that worked up before. Well, not our problem. Come on. One more swing.
We better go and see what the
Nice.
trouble is.
What you did, traitor?
All right, next one, John. Chop, chop.
On second thought, I'll take you up on that break.
Fair enough. Don't take too long, all right?
Let's go and see what's going on at the church.
Enlighten me, then. Calmly. You must not yell in the house.
Do not give me orders! They told me what you did. Your chants, your holy water. What gives you any right to do that behind my back?
You're being unreasonable. I only offered prayers to the ill. Where's the harm in
Don't you dare lie! I know this feast is just another ploy. But I will not let Jesuits hurt my people again, no matter what I have to do.
Tehan, I gave you my word. I will not force the Wendat into anything. If they come to me seeking God, it will be of their own free will.
That'll go down well.
Oh, good day, Miss Angelier. How go preparations?
Everything's on schedule.
Wonderful.
What now? Which one of them am I supposed to talk to about this?
I think we're gonna go and talk to Tehan, right?
Helen Dasquans.
Tehan?
Now's not a good time.
Please. I want to talk about what happened in the chapel.
There's nothing to tell. I just lost my temper.
Tehan, we're friends. You don't have to hide what happened. Not from me.
Look, you can see our shelters from up here.
And I'm trying. Am I stuck on something? Oh. Let's click on the arrow.
Albert was on watch when I was absent yesterday. He told Augustin I was gone. And then Augustin did something to my people. He claims it was nothing but prayers for the sick, but the truth is rarely what white men claim it is.
Listen. Even if Father Augustin had no right to do that without asking, there's no guarantee he lied. Maybe he really did just pray.
I know.
Then why in the world did you?
Because I can't take it anymore. Every day I work myself to death trying to understand people who despise us. And every day I see him in the shadows, waiting to undo all the good I wrought. It's like he's trying to remind me that he can hurt us any time he wants to. And this time, I helped him get away with it. I agreed to this feast. I gave him what he needs to make my people suffer.
Tehan, listen to me.
I don't think she can promise that no one will get hurt. I don't want to make false promises.
The Wendat wouldn't be better off if you refused the Father's offer. You didn't put them in danger. You made a difficult decision to keep them safe.
I know. But I've been trying so hard for so long to do what's right for my people. And it is never enough. We're still grieving what's been lost. Still fighting to be in control of our lives. And I'm just so tired of it.
Definitely doubt his intentions. We do now chopping some veg.
These ones are ready, Florent.
Perfect. Just get those mushrooms for the Wendat stew, and we're done. They're in food storage. Crate marked with a cross.
Got it.
Where was the food storage? I think it was the big building, right?
So your name's Wahoan. What does that mean in French?
Water? Strong water.
Saganes, Ashkenonia Shis. Ashkenonia, yes.
They don't seem to be having a fun time. Hello, Captain.
You and I are gonna get along great.
You're seriously not making this up?
Hell no! And the God, I walked in on the boss getting
Hey,
dressed by
boy.
accident.
Want to walk with me? Fine. Be a glutton.
And he has huge scars on his back. Like, waist to neck.
Oh, self-flagellation is that?
I heard rumors
Oh,
some Jesuits
or
got
torture.
tortured by Iroquois a few years back. But I never thought they were true.
Me neither. Can't believe the guy still talks about helping natives after all that.
I love me some strong water.
Dio, Tehan.
Dio, Jeanne. How's everything going?
Better than expected, despite the language barrier. All we're really missing is you.
That's sweet of you. But taking part in this feast would mean supporting the faith it celebrates. And I cannot give Augustin that satisfaction.
I understand. Well, if you change your mind,
You'll be the first to know, I promise.
Alright, so is it here? Do I go in? No. Not that building either. Oh, unless it... Was it just in this area? It's marked with a cross. It seemed like it. We go up here? It's just the church and his quarters, but I guess he's there to talk to, perhaps.
Ah, Miss Angelier. I trust our festivities proceed smoothly.
of course, Father. Seeing everyone getting along like friends, it's practically a miracle.
On Toussaint, we celebrate the saints who served our Lord till the end. And I can think of no greater way to honor their sacrifices than this. I owe it all to your loyal dedication.
You're too kind, Father.
Alright, I mean, I'm guessing I've missed it. Oh, unless it's around... Oh, okay, no, it's here, that's fine. Be it. Any reason to be suspicious of anything in it? No, wait. These are the bad mushrooms. They're glowing. No, don't...
These must be the mushrooms.
No,
Wait.
exactly.
Why are they?
Those ain't chanterelles. You see that glow? That means they're toxic. So don't eat them, unless you want to beg God to end the bloodiest runs of your life.
No.
Don't eat the stew.
This has to be a mistake.
I mean, I assume he knows. Like I said, I don't really trust him.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Father Augustin, there's an emergency. Look.
Not fond of chanterelles, are we? Worry not, child. They're for Wendat only.
No! They're toxic! People could get sick or die from these.
Who told you this?
The man I traveled with, Pierre, he told me... Wait. Who told me? You knew! This There has to be a mistake. I don't...
Miss Angelier, please, calm yourself. I never meant to deceive you, only preserve your innocence. I mean, you spent so much time with Tehon. I feared you'd grow conflicted. And I could not let you choose him over making the world a better place.
Get away.
I don't understand. How
are we still only a little
to...
headstrong? I've chosen so many of those responses.
It will render the Wendat weak and pliable. Perfect for our purposes of peaceful conversion.
Conversion? How could you? The Wendat needed you!
Indeed. And once they fall ill from eating these, they'll need me more than ever. However, only those who accept Christ as Savior will receive aid, of course.
That's inhuman!
Perhaps. But they've rejected salvation so often, drastic measures have become necessary. After all, I would sooner kill a heretic than fail to redeem one.
He warned me not to trust you. And I should have listened. All you did was use me. Just like you used God to make innocents suffer.
They are not innocent. You have not witnessed what those animals are capable of. You have not buried saints who carried his message of peace. We Jesuits were sent to shepherd the Lord's wayward flock. But those savages are not lambs of God. They are a murder of crows. I have seen them feast on the livers of living men, even as they wailed for mercy. I have seen them skin scalps from the heads of pastors, like peel from Eden's apple. I have seen hell, Miss Angelier, crossed its rivers, wandered its valleys. And I know you have as well. Because you're exactly like me.
No.
We are not the same. I'd never resort to blasphemy like this.
Oh, but you already have, my dear. From the moment we first met, you confessed to lying. You deceived that filthy Wendat you so stubbornly claimed to care for. And you did it strictly for your own benefit. That is despicable. And who knows what other falsehoods you've sown. You are a wicked creature, child. But do as I say, and God will forgive you. Refuse, and I will banish you in his name, back into those wicked wilds.
Fine.
Fine then! Banish me! I'm not afraid!
Oh, but you should be. Because I will throw you into those blizzards, naked and starving. I will deny you the companionship of Tehon, traders, even your dog.
Not Capitan.
And I will brand your flesh with fire, to let the whole world know you're beyond God's help. Now, I suggest you consider your options very carefully. Because whether you do what must be done, or suffer heresy alongside them, God and I will be watching.
Yeah, F you, honestly, dude. There's no choice to make. Is the game going to offer us a choice? Because I'm not taking it. I'm not poisoning those guys. Do what you must. Yeah, I mean... Tejon. This is what's happening, girl.
Tejon.
Okay. Warn him. 100%.
Tejon!
Jeanne?
See where that goes. Interesting. I mean, it feels like there's a very steep branching path there, right? Papinepanu falls in little pieces. We're going to start reading some codexes, but that was very interesting. It kind of makes me want to do a second playthrough after this to take different choices and see, taking it down a dogmatic route and then, you know, purely to see the alternate path, just let that play out as the father wanted and see, you know, episode 6 feels like it could be very different depending on that. But we'll find out next time. Let's just work our way through some of these codex things I've not done before then. The characters, let's read about Augustin. I think I've read this, I think. So let's just read the historical facts on this one. In the 1600s, Jesuit missionaries established the settlement of San Marie in Wendat territory, where they spread Christian faith to allied indigenous nations. During this time, they evangelized many non-believers, but also spread devastating epidemics that resulted in incalculable fatalities. With the Haudenosaunee nation seeking to retaliate against French incursion, and the Wendat forces diminished by disease, San Marie was raided. Many Jesuits were captured, and over the course of several years, 8 were ritually tortured to death by their captors. Written accounts describe the missionaries being burned with red-hot metal, bled dry, eviscerated, selectively dismembered, and more. These same accounts describe the Haudenosaunee as god-loathing barbarians whose cruelty could not shatter these pious pastors' faiths. The incident is now considered the most gruesome act of martyrdom ever recorded by the Catholic Church, and these fallen Jesuits, also called the Holy Canadian Martyrs, were canonized as saints in 1930. Let's have the Wendat. The Wendat who came to the trading post are here for the sake of their families, to collect provisions for winter and barter for goods. But despite those pure intentions, I'm ashamed to admit they scare me. They look like the kind of evil warriors I heard about in horror stories back in Europe. Tejon taught me what their names mean so I can get to know them better, though none of them are very talkative, least of all in French. Stawahoni means he sees clearly and is a skilled tracker. Wahawen means mighty current and gestures a lot when he speaks. Saranez means great tree and built most of their shelters. Historical facts. Named Huron by the French, an old word meaning both ruffian and boar's head in reference to their warriors' hairstyles, the Wendat were Nouvelle France's most significant trade partners, exchanging furs and food for previously inaccessible goods. Formerly occupying a vast territory known as I mean, my English eyes would say Wendake, but I guess Wendaki might be a pronunciation. The Wendat population once exceeded 20,000 members. They lived in large agricultural villages made of communal longhouses, harvesting squash, beans and corn, relying on hunters and fishermen come winter. By the mid-1600s, following extended contact with colonists, devastating epidemics and Haudenosaunee raids killed over 10,000 Wendat, forcing survivors to disperse. Some consolidated further alliances with the French, while others formed traditionalist factions, fleeing to join the Tianonteti or Odawa nations. These deaths and the resulting rift between former communities erased centuries of oral tradition. Today the Wendat number roughly 5,000 members, many of which still reside in the Wendake area, striving to preserve surviving practices or reconstruct once lost languages. Okay, I think we've done those. I probably didn't do the trading post, so let's have a look at this. After spending weeks carrying the woods, Father Augustin's trading post looked like something out of a dream. I know French colonists had built settlements like this all across the New World, but seeing one with my own eyes made me realize the dedication it took to make those settlements a reality. These men felled trees, weathered harsh weather and harsher wilderness, hunted beasts, bartered with hospitable natives and warred with hostile ones for months until they turned nothing into this. A shelter, a source of wealth, maybe even a home for some. I may not have liked those traders, but I couldn't help admire what their combined skills had accomplished. In Nouvelle France, trading posts were small fortified camps established by fur trade companies in key locations to facilitate licensed commerce between colonists and indigenous peoples. French traders would return to them after expeditions with furs acquired through trade in tow, using the area as a stockpile before exporting them to France. Natives, meanwhile, would visit the posts in groups to acquire rare goods like firearms. That said, trading posts often varied in size or purpose. Some served as rudimentary living quarters for traders between journeys, whereas others were bases of operations for Jesuit conversion missions. Some even expanded to offer services like blacksmithing and barrel making to attract diverse clientele. Many trading posts eventually transformed into colonial villages or cities such as those in Quebec, Tadoussac, and Trois-Rivières, which still exist today. Look at the fauna. So we got the rabbit. For a few short months, my parents let me keep a baby hare as a pet, until it ran away, that is. But cute as it was, the rabbits here are even cuter. They all look so plump and fluffy. Picturing what French nobles would do to them makes me sick. In Parisian courts, a dish called lièvre à la royale is becoming increasingly popular, but the preparation is the stuff of nightmares. Hares are strangled to death so that blood and bones can be saved to make sauce. Organs are removed, then marinated for days in a mix of wine, truffles, lard, and spices. The result is a gruesome, gravy-drenched pâté, soft enough to be eaten with a spoon. Sometimes I wonder if French nobles ever feel bad for eating this, or maybe they think all those abuses make the meat taste better. Historical facts. One of the few native animals whose population actually increased during the colonial era. Eastern cottontail rabbits are, as their name suggests, native to eastern Canada, and easily identifiable thanks to their fluffy white tails. They are clover-loving foragers who dig family burrows in open plains, and rather than hibernate, they grow thicker fur coats in winter. They are integral to the diet of local predators like lynx, owls, and raccoons, not to mention prized by native communities, as they are available to hunt year-round. Rabbit stew, in particular, is a traditional Algonquian dish, still prepared today when celebrating holidays. Rabbits also frequently appear in indigenous myths, often shown to be confident and playful hunters, or said to let people speak with the dead through dreams. In Maliseet culture, the rabbit trickster Matokes is featured in countless light-hearted tales. He is a harmless but obnoxious troublemaker who robs or deceives other animals, only to die and come back to life so he can try again. Flora. Pumpkins. How do Albert and the others expect me to cook something like this? I've never seen vegetables that even remotely look like these before. They have hard shells, almost like tree nuts, but when you cut them open, the flesh has the texture of a soft turnip. But that still doesn't explain their carrot-like colour, let alone why they're hollow in the middle or chock full of pointy seeds. Tejon says his favourite food uses this plant in some kind of stew, and Florence swears he's seen some grow to be the side of breeding bulls. I honestly can't tell which of one of those stories I have the hardest time believing. Botanically part of the berry family and capable of weighing over 2,000 pounds. What? Pumpkins, as well as squash and other gourds, are native to North America, not to mention essential to indigenous agriculture. These plants are culinary versatile, able to be roasted, mashed, candied, and more, but also thrive on autumnal conditions, making them integral to most communities' seasonal harvests. Some nations even treasured pumpkins for their medicinal purposes, with seeds used to treat stomach infections and vine flowers for tea infusions. Alongside beans and corn, gourds were considered one of the 3 sister foods by the Wendat, named after the Sky Mother's daughters who nourished humanity. In addition, the 3 vegetables are known to grow much more smoothly and healthily if they are planted close together. A meal which combines these ingredients, known as Three Sisters Soup, is still prepared and celebrated among multiple native communities today. History. There's quite a lot here. Let's do the Iroquois Haudenosaunee. Most horror stories I heard in France concern the Iroquois. Everyone said they were merciless raiders who trained their men to feel no pain. They howled like beasts when they attacked our colonies, wielding fire and arrows. That the prisoners they took faced far worse fates than the people they slaughtered, and all of them swore they refused to make peace, because their only purpose in life was to vanquish their enemies. At least, that's what all those dramatic retellings would claim. But after hearing Tejon's account of the situation, something tells me the Iroquois see us as monsters, much in the same way as we see them. Why does the truth always have to be so complicated? Though the French name Iroquois is derived from a term meaning snake or barbarian, the Haudenosaunee are actually a confederacy of multiple indigenous communities, united under the Great Law of Peace, a precursor of modern democracy. Prior to invasive French colonization attempts, they lived in large agricultural longhouse villages, with their territory encompassing most of the Great Lakes area and southeastern Canada. First contact with European settlers resulted in hundreds of Haudenosaunee deaths and displacements. Furthermore, Nouvelle France allied with the Wendat and Innu nations, which were Haudenosaunee enemies at the time. As a result, the Confederacy engaged in relentless war against the French colonies, and their raids only grew more brutal after partnering with British settlers, fellow adversaries of France who provided them with guns. In the 17th century, the Haudenosaunee were at the height of their power. Historian Pekka Hamalainen, who claims no other native nation ever reached so far, conducted such ambitious foreign policy, nor commanded such fear and respect. I'm interested in the toboggan thing. Let's have a look at that. Tejon seemed annoyed when I asked why the Wendat and Father Augustin's men keep these toys around. He called these sleighs important tools for commerce, as they're one of his people's only options for carrying furs over long distances during winter. And granted, richer folk in France use horse-drawn sleighs to transport goods like that too, but small ones like these and only used by children for playtime. Oh, I get it, yeah. Honestly, if I wasn't so afraid of Tejon's reaction, or potential carnivores hiding nearby, I'd love to take one outside and slide around the snow. Maybe Capitan would be strong enough to pull me like a horse. Historical facts. Derived from an Algonquian word meaning sled, toboggans were used by almost all of northern Canada's indigenous communities to transport vast amounts of cargo over deep snow. Flat-bottomed toboggans were best suited to powdered snow and were built by latching bent boards of still green larch or birchwood to form an arch-like curve, which was then steamed to retain its shape. Native nations in the far north, like the Inuit, rather built sleds with runners underneath, called kamatik, which were better suited for wet snow or icy terrain. They also used domesticated canids to pull their sleds, which eventually evolved into the modern-day dog sleigh racing. Likewise, after colonists popularized tobogganing as a recreational activity in North America and Europe alike, Switzerland developed the team sport of bobsledding in the 1800s, using a modified steering-based design of North American toboggans. And the canoe things, you might tell us about that tree bark they made out of. That's quite interesting. When I asked Hyacinth why traders travel in fragile little birch bark canoes instead of bigger ships like l'Intrépide, he laughed. The New World, he explained, isn't just big or uncharted, it's winding. Large rivers give into tiny crooked brooks, which then turn into torrential waterfalls or treacherous rocky areas where there's no choice but to proceed on foot. No matter how sturdy the vessel, a standard French galleon is just too big to maneuver through those passages, even if the sails were able to catch wind despite being surrounded by tall trees. In retrospect, that seemed obvious, but I wonder how fur traders would get around before Wendat people taught them how to build these things. Historical facts. Traditional native canoes were built by attaching curved ribs of knife-carved flexible fir wood to a central cross-beam piece. Large strips of birch bark were then sewn across to form watertight hulls. This construction meant damaged canoes were not only easy to repair, as only one broken piece among many was simple to replace, but the boats could also be built with variable shapes depending on whether they were intended for gentle streams or fierce rapids. Likewise, birch bark canoes were extremely light despite their relative sturdiness and potential size. A 40-foot-long canoe, typically used by fur trade company workers, weighed roughly 300 pounds, but could carry 10 men and 3 tons worth of goods. Innu, in particular, relied on birch bark canoes when returning north in autumn for the sake of hunting caribou. Those who carried the canoes often developed telltale humps called pakatakan due to the boat's crossbars resting on the napes of their necks. These acted as testaments to a porter's skill and experience. Interesting. I went to all of the... What have I got under Maikan? Have a look at the eau de vie. We used to trade with outsiders years ago, exchanging furs and crafts against metal, tools, or cloth. But when our traders started coming back with bottles of strange drink instead, great-grandfather warned our leaders that the trades had to stop. Nothing, he said, is more dangerous than a poison that cripples a man's reason and his values, especially if it makes him desperate to poison himself further. The strange thing is, alcohol looks so harmless. Clear as water from a stream, and yet it burns the throat like flame, reeks of fruit gone bad, a trustworthy guise to hide its foul nature. No different than the white men who tricked us into drinking it, I suppose. Okay. Historical facts. Literally translating to water of life, eau de vie is a French liquor made by mashing, fermenting, and distilling fruits like pears or cherries. This yields faintly sweet, colourless, and extremely potent brandy, ranging from 44% to 86% alcohol content. In Nouvelle France, the drink was extremely popular due to its taste and rumoured medicinal properties. Circa 1730, the average Quebec citizen consumed 20 litres per year, the equivalent of a shot per day. Eau de vie was also used as a bargaining chip by unscrupulous traders during commerce with natives, in order to propose exorbitant prices in exchange for alcohol, or getting indigenous merchants drunk to facilitate scams. Religious missionaries decried the practice as amoral, leading royal authorities to make the selling of alcohol illegal. Ironically, this did not stop certain nations from integrating alcoholic beverages into spiritual ceremonies or rituals, similar to tobacco. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll leave it there for now, I think. So I'll just say thanks very much for watching this episode. Come back next time for episode 6. If you did enjoy this, as I hope you did, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that is always very much appreciated. Is there any comments you wish to make? Let me know what you think about the story so far, the various characters, the choices we made. I mean, like me, do you get a sense that if we'd taken particularly Jeanne in a different direction, in terms of her outlook, whether, the story would be going somewhere quite different? I'm keen to see where it goes. But let me know in the comments your thoughts. And if you're watching this and not yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that, that'd be amazing. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.